Paper Towns is a 2015 film directed by Jake Schreier, and it is based on the novel of the same name by John Green. John Green is a writer born in 1977 in Indianapolis. He attended the Indian Springs School, and he later graduated at Kenyon College. After leaving university, Green spent 5 months working in a children's hospital. His experience working with children with life-threatening illnesses later inspired him to write The Fault in Our Stars. The latter is one of his most famous novels, along with Looking for Alaska and Paper Towns. The film Paper Towns was scripted by the same authors as The Fault in Our Stars. Starring in the film Paper Towns are Nat Wolff and Cara Delevingne, who played the roles of Quentin and Margot respectively. Quentin lives across the street near Margot's house in Jefferson Park, near Orlando, Florida. The two are childhood friends, but at the age of 9, they drifted apart after discovering the dead body of Robert Joyner, a fellow citizen who committed suicide due to divorce. Reaching adolescence, they found themselves at Jefferson Park High School, where Margot became one of the most popular girls. On the contrary, Quentin, who has always been in love with Margot, is kind and submissive, but not very popular among his peers. One night, Margot shows up at Quentin's window to involve him in a revenge against some high school students who he considers common enemies. She has in fact discovered that her boyfriend, Jace Worthington, has cheated on her with one of her friends, Rebecca Arrington. Quentin and Margot spend the night playing humiliating pranks on Jace, Rebecca, and their friends, including Margot's best friend, Lacey Pemberton, whom Margot accuses of hiding the betrayal from her. Their complicity gives Quentin hope for a closer relationship with Margot, as well as prompting him for the first time to assert himself and take risks. Over the next few days, Margot does not turn up at school, but her parents do not report her missing to the police because she has run away from home before and they are sure she will soon return. After seeing a Woody Guthrie poster recently stuck on the wall of the girl's bedroom, Quentin realizes that Margot has left clues indicating her destination. Helped by his best friends Benjamin and Marcus, he bribes Margot's sister Ruthie to look for more clues in her room. Thanks to new clues, Quentin and his friends reach an old souvenir shop in an abandoned shopping mall, where they find a map used by Margot and discover that she is hiding in Agloe, a paper town, which is a town that does not exist in reality, but it is featured on some maps of the state of New York as a trap for a possible copyright violation. Quentin and his friends start a 2-day journey in a minivan to find Margot, hoping to be home in time for the prom. And on the way, the boys get to know each other better. At the planned location, however, there is no sign of the girl, and while the others decide to go back home, Quentin continues his search. Finally, he finds Margot in a street, and here he decides to confess his feelings for her. But the girl rejects him. She reveals that she ran away from home to escape her neglectful parents and to better understand herself. She also tells him that she left the clues to let him know she was safe and not to invite him to follow her. After this explanation, Margot decides to stay in Agloe, and Quentin books a bus ticket home. Before leaving, the two young people kiss, showing their feeling for each other. After returning to the city, Quentin enjoys the company of his friends at the school dance and after graduating spends the whole summer with them before leaving for university. Although the film is based on the novel of the same name, it differs from the book. First of all, the space given to Margot's search is limited in the film compared to the book, in order to give more space to themes such as friendship, brotherhood, and adolescence, which nevertheless made the film very enjoyable. The film also included a cameo by Ansel Elgort, protagonist of the film The Fault in Our Stars, who however does not play a major role in the plot and does not appear in the original book. This was a genuine product placement of the previous film. In addition, there is a much more teenage atmosphere in the film than in the book, and this makes it mostly a teen story, which slightly eclipses the depth and true meaning of Paper Towns, far from being a teenage love story. For example, at the beginning of the film, when Margot enters Quentin's room through the window to ask him to join her on a revenge night, he is reluctant, as he is in the book. But whereas in the paper version he follows her without any particular reason, but simply to be with her, in the film she immediately mentions her boyfriend's betrayal, and Quentin asks if she is now single. Once she says yes, the scene is interrupted, and we see Quentin's mother's minivan speeding out of the driveway. Quentin, therefore, is reduced to an ordinary guy who only seems to want to impress the girl. Another very different element between the film and the book is the ending. Actually, if analyzed in general terms, it may seem almost the same, but if a deeper analysis is made, we can see big differences within the two endings. First of all, in the book, the final dialogue between Quentin and Margot is conveyed much better, and it is much deeper because it embodies the true meaning of the film, and Margot expresses her unsatisfaction with the life she was living and all the hypocrisy that surrounded her life and her role as an adventurous girl, and for this reason she wants to find a new place in the world. All of this in the film is rendered very differently because the same depth of Margot's speech is not conveyed, and she almost seems to taunt Quentin as if he had looked for her in vain. All the depth and ultimate beauty of the book are therefore lost in the film.